Well, Carl Trueman really does not like us. He really doesn't like that we get to say whatever we want and they can't shut us down. Right? He does not like Gig Eva. You like that phrase, CJ?
I think it's lame.
It's really dumb. But we're going to run with it.
Gig Eva was cool.
Gig Eva was good. It was clever. Gig Eva needs some work, Carl. Anyway, welcome to Contramundum.
The American Revolution, in other words, is never finished. It must always be renewed.
Greater love than this hath no man, than that he lay down his life for his friend.
What if it's not envy?
We must take back our cities, and take back our culture, and take back our country. God bless you, and God bless America.
All right, we're back. We are back. Carl Trueman's article, Gig Eva. Do you have it up? Do you have the clip up?
Where was it published?
I don't know. One of those dumb places.
I'll just
Gospel Coalition, Your Orthodoxy.
I think it was First Things.
Oh, it's First Thing. Oh, that's right. Carl is an editor at First Things.
Goodbye, Big Eva. Hello, Gig Eva. Do you want me to send it to you? Do we want to?
We don't need to read all of it because it's pedantic and
read it yet.
Obnoxious. I know you didn't. You never do any prep for the show.
Based.
No, the part that got made the waves on the internet. Let's read that one. I have it in my bookmarks. Here we go. Yeah, so right here. No individual group or writer in Gig Eva will likely enjoy the breadth of influence experienced by their Big Eva forefathers. Cool. The diffuse nature of online discourse means that there will never be a focal point of the kind provided by the big conference stage in the 10,000 seat convention hall. Press X to doubt on that one. I think it's going to get there, man. Yeah. I think it's going to get there. And that's what he's afraid of. But Gig Eva may well reshape significant parts of the Christian culture because it is so attuned to the pieties of the dominant expressive individualism of our day. Okay, yeah.
We haven't even set this up for people who don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah. All right, okay, set it up.
I don't know. I'm learning for this for the first time too. But basically the thesis is that I haven't read it, but I've seen the discussion online. Yeah. Basically, he's lamenting the fact that there is an online influence that's crowding out the last 10 years of evangelical influence, right?
Yeah, that's right. Of all of the institutions, the seminary professors, the Big Eva pastors that have big giant churches and getting invited
the rising
to conferences.
Influence in evangelicalism is podcasters and Twitter posters and all of that.
As a podcaster and influencer, CJ,
I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah, you hardly are. Like you're really just on there to fight Diwali. That's
true.
The Indian demon
a day
gods.
When people see me with like dozens of tweets, you can just say, "Oh, CJ's on a road trip. He's driving.
He's driving right now. He's got his head on a swivel, looking out for illegal truck drivers and tweeting at the same time.
That's true.
So yeah, I'll keep reading this section here. But I mean that's the thing, attuned to the pieties of the dominant expressive individualism of our day, and it's like I've read his book. You've read his book.
Good book.
And it's pretty good. But the irony of all of it is like he gets high in his own supply, man. Like he acts like he is not tapping into the expressive individualism of the day. And Big Eva never did that, right? Or that they're not responsible for the cultural conditions.
Well, he has an internet column. He has a blog site. That's where he does all of his. This is the thing. Like we have to lean into the tools that are at our disposal.
Yeah. You'll have these older guys that are like, "Oh, I'm not going to use Twitter. I'm not going to use social media. I'm too good for that." But it's like then these are the guys that don't need to.
Yeah.
Right. They write in the big journal article, submit articles in the big journals. They have a comfy sinecure at a seminary. Like Ligon Duncan makes like $500,000 a year, right? Like he needs to be on Twitter, right? Like no. But what they don't like is that social media, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok,
it's the same thing.
have allowed people to criticize them.
The reason that like First Things exists is because the New York Times
Shut them out. Yeah.
That's just how it works. And the old guard always is frustrated, probably resentful of the new guard. And that's exactly what's happening. It's the same transformation.
Yeah.
It's generational.
It's like, oh, they kicked us out. They excluded us from the institution. We're going to start our own. And then they exclude people from institutions. And like, oh, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do your own thing now. No.
Well, like these guys, like Carl, is he at Hillsdale or Grove City? Which one is he at?
He was at Grove City. Yeah. I think he still is.
But like those types used to be at Harvard or Princeton. And
that's right.
Those are too lib for that. It's just the way it goes. And you can start your own college now.
You could just do things. Maybe we should do that. Should we start a college?
You've been saying we should.
Many people tell me that we should start a college. I think we should. I think we should have, like, there are so many non-intellectuals out there, like guys that really should have been at Harvard and Yale and Princeton. In a better world, in based world, they totally would be. And right, you can just, start a college with them. So maybe we will. Stay tuned.
The Gig Eva College.
The Gig Achad Eva College. So yeah, Truman Show. Its advocates validate their personal authenticity by their constant iconoclasm. Their decrying of anything that stands in their way, and their priority of disembodied, cost-free online engagement over the more expensive demands of service and accountability to real people in real time, in church and in homes. Big Eva had its problems. Gig Eva. Yeah, you were one of them, Carl. And Aimee Byrd, your friend Aimee Byrd, which you've never apologized for that. You never said, like, sorry, everybody, I brought a feminist into the fold and I attacked anybody who had suspicion about her. Okay, Carl. Big Eva had its problems. Understatement of the millennium. Gig Eva is set only to intensify them. Right? Well, here's the thing, Carl. Mr. Truman, is he a doctor? Dr. Truman,
Probably.
Dr. Truman, PhD, whatever you are. If you guys weren't so terrible, if you hadn't screwed everything up for the last 30 years, right, and had so many great sins, God would not have sent podcasters like us.
Oh, podcaster again.
You're a podcaster again, buddy. Like that, but that's the thing. Like they have no self-awareness. Like he started to approach a little bit of self-awareness there. Like, oh, Big Eva had some problems, but these guys are worse. These guys are way, way, way worse. Right. And like the irony there too is, like, for one, actually, I have read the whole thing. And nowhere does he name anyone. Right. So who's he talking about here? Is he talking about you and me?
He's talking about Stephen and
he's talking about Stephen. He's talking about Joel. Is he talking about Doug Wilson? Is he talking about
Ogden?
Yeah, who exactly is he talking about? He doesn't really name any names. This is what they do. They don't name. It's like, oh, that person could be a big Evaite. There could be or Gig Evaite, right? There could be Gig Eva people here. Never been in this neighborhood before. Right, they make it vague. They don't want you to know exactly who it is you're talking about, because then they could defend themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So then they could do the whole thing of like, oh, I guess
it's like
you throw a rock into a pack of wolves and the barking dog got hit.
They're decrying of anything that stands in the way, the priority of disembodied, cost-free online engagement over the more expensive demands of service to real people in real time. The problem is if you name names and then you actually look at their lives, there's a lot of good guys that are doing real-time, real-life things.
Real ministry.
Local churches.
That's right.
And schools and all of that.
And every single one of the guys that we
mentioned, yeah.
Right. That every single one of them is in a church, is either a pastor or a churchman, layman, under the authority of a session, under the authority of someone else, right, in a church. Now, they maybe don't like that. Oh, well, Doug Wilson, right? I think he's also talking about Doug. That's why he didn't name it, right? Doug, well, he just started his own denomination, right? He doesn't have a seminary degree. Like all those kinds of attacks. Like, oh, Brian Sauvé doesn't have I don't think he does. Doesn't have a seminary degree. Eric Kahn does. Their church isn't part of a denomination, so we can't kick them out of the PCA. Right? That's what they do.
Yeah, they want you in a denomination so they can kick you out.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing like with Foster right now. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, did you see that? You haven't been online, you didn't see this. One of the like national the national partnership is all like the woke libs in the PCA. Partnership, coalition, something like that. Right? One of like his biggest critics, right, most vocal critics, just got arrested by the Department of Justice, by ICE, whatever.
Wait, this week?
Like today or yesterday, for soliciting a child, prostitute. Right. And this is a guy online is was attacking Michael because of the whole, there was that one woman, patriarchy Hannah or something, like she was pretending to be something or whatever on the internet and joining spaces or whatever. They're like, oh, this guy lacks discernment. Like this is what the guy's tweeting. Meanwhile, he's like visiting child prostitutes. Right. Like that's like the amount of like hypocrisy in the institutions, the amount of which I'm not saying that every single woke lib in the PCA is going to child prostitutes, but
Big Eva has problems.
Big Eva has problems, right? And it's like these people, they're whitewashed tombs, right? They attack Foster because, how dare you attack people if you were in the PCA, you know what we would do to you? We would shut you down. We would defrock you. We would kick your church out if you were mentioning all this stuff. Because you're what the Westminster says about the 9th commandment? You're supposed to protect people's reputations. And you're posting all these things that they posted on their internet about having women pastors in effect. And you're slandering them. So we would kick you out. We would defrock you. We'd bring charges against you. But you're not the PCA, so you can't do this. Right? How dare you attack us? Right? That's their line of attack. Right? Like these institutions are so gatekept, right? I'm
just laughing at
the comments.
Mutual friend of ours.
Wait, hold on. I got to look at the comments. Comment break. Here we go. Go down. No one Christian told you to shave. Yeah, like that was the other thing. Like you had like David Bonson retweeting this disgusting Zenati woman, attacking our short king friend Eric Kahn for being short. And it's like physiognomy check, right? We could actually do that now. That's on the table, apparently, at least for David Bonson, who looks like a rodent. The real controversy is that nobody close to Truman has told him to shave his head. Bro, holding on to those lost 8 hair follicles for dear life. Yeah, I mean, we could get, I care about Carl enough to, let him know, like, yeah, buddy, once it's gone, I mean, mine's starting to go a little bit too. I get called to Norwood all the time. You might want to consider it. You might want to. I mean, maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe in Britain, the wisp covering the top of the bald head. I'm entering Elijah in the youth's territory here. Maybe a bear will come up and kill me for attacking Carl Trueman.
So it is funny though, because he talks about how Big Eva is kind of on its way out. And I think that's very true.
He's accurate. Yeah. It's obvious. Like you'd have to be you have to be a dullard to not notice that.
Do you think that Truman was part of Big Eva or saw himself always as distant from it?
I think he saw himself outside of it, even though he was in their good graces.
Yeah.
Right. I think they always kept him as like, oh, there's that funny, what is he, Scottish, British, some guy from the British Isles saying, doing some interesting analysis. I don't know if I totally agree with it. Like that's kind of the thing. Like he was always in good graces with them. But I mean, typically, but you also had, I mean, this is the thing. You remember the stated clerk of the PCA, the controversy from like this summer before the General Assembly, where he is on a thing with Colin Hansen and he holds up a Post-it note of like his enemies list. Remember that? Carl Trueman's name was on there, along with like Peter Leithart and Jeff Myers and people I like. And so it's like, yeah, he's got some enemies there too. And so that's why I think he's able to talk this way. Like he's not really part of it, but he totally is, man. Like you're on you're on the editorial board of First Things, and you will gatekeep. Like I'm never going to be able to write on First Things. Even
Yeah, you could.
I don't know. He would shut it down, man. He would absolutely.
Didn't they
shut
publish
it down.
Lomez?
They did, and
I think
I'm not gonna say other things I know about that situation. But
I think R.R. Reno would be okay with us.
Yeah, I think he would too. But I think Carl would chimp out and threaten to leave if I published anything. If I published anything in First Things, or if Steven did, or any of our guys, right? Like if you publish something there, right, it would be awesome. I'm sure, because CJ's a great writer, guys. He is. You telling me now for the first time, he is. But no, Carl wants to gatekeep the institutions from people like us, right? Because we engage in, that's the other thing, is they engage in cost-free controversy, right? That's the thing, right? That's the ironic thing about this. Do you think Ogden is saying the things that the controversy they engage in is cost-free when you have armed Antifa showing up outside your church every Sunday now?
Yeah.
Right. Is it, it's cost-free country, a bunch of keyboard warriors. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's come on.
None of them are being threatened with doxing.
Yeah. How many death threats have you gotten, Carl Trueman?
Or kicked out of their churches.
Yeah. Yeah. Being doxed, being kicked out of your churches for and Daniel Keene, for example. They can't tell the guy what his sin was.
Right.
Right. They can't say, here is how you sinned. Here's what the Bible says. This is a sin. You need to repent. They did none of that. It was just we just don't really like your vibes, man. Right? It's a vibes-based church discipline. Literally, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And they're you just get on out of here, right? None of these things they can precisely say this is a sin, because they can't. Right? There's nothing in the Bible that says this is a sin, right? You know what is a sin in the Bible? Having women pastors is a sin. You know what the PCA does? Has lots of women pastors. They just don't call them that, right? The ministry director of thus and such, right? They do, right? There are all these things, right? You know what is a sin? Promoting sodomy, right? PCA. Lots of people did that, and they hardly kicked anybody out for that. And they've been, you remember the guy? I mean, this is 2 or 3 years ago now, right? The guy that challenged it on the floor of the General Assembly. You remember that speech?
No.
He gave a speech, he gave a speech against it, and they censored that guy, if I recall correctly. The chat can correct me. He was just saying that we should not be supporting things like Revoice and stuff like that. He was attacking Revoice, and they censored him for his language. Right? Bad vibes, tone policing, right? This is a sin. This is wrong. You should not be doing it. You challenge it. You're the one that gets smacked around, right? When I was at General Assembly this year, Erwin Incy, whatever you pronounce his name, he's made all these statements. I don't like being around white people, right? I don't like white people. I don't like being around them. And one guy, right? This you'll like this, a rapper who's now a PCA pastor or elder, challenged him. He's just flat out quoting. I mean, it's one of these school board meetings where they quote from the trans porn at the school board meeting that people freak out, right? He's quoting verbatim what Incy was saying. It's they shouted him down. They shouted him down. You're attacking his character. We won't allow that. And it's this is what the man said, right? He not only should he not be leading an organization and making $400K a year from the pockets of your churches, right? He shouldn't even be within 10 miles of your denomination, right? That guy should be gone in a heartbeat. But if you say hey, I don't think we should have women pastors, boom, the hammer comes down on you, right? I don't think I believe in complementarianism. I believe what Presbyterians until the 20th century believed. Bam, hammer comes down on you. That's the way these institutions are. And so you wonder, why are all these guys listening to podcasters, right, that are in churches that we can't control, right? Why are they listening to them? Here, put the comments up again. I need to see the comments. Thank you. Right? Why are they listening to all these? I wonder why. Right? Because and just even looking at the reaction to Charlie Kirk being murdered in the churches and in Reformed churches and PCA churches, right? It's no different than anywhere else in evangelicalism, right? Where they're terrified to say, like, Charlie was a good man. He was a martyr, right? He died for Jesus Christ and for proclaiming the truth. They couldn't say those things because, well, we've got a bunch of people that probably voted for Kamala Harris in our church and we don't want to offend them, right? You need to be driving those people out of your churches, right? That's why your church is so terrible. That's why you're promoting sodomy. That's why you're promoting having women pastors, right? It's disgusting. Yes, that's the one. Yeah. Yes, Jackson, you must have joined late. We already mentioned Michael Foster's detractor being arrested. I mean, it's horrible. I didn't really. I'm not trying to like victory laps. Like it's awful. Yeah. It's really, really terrible. And it's like devastating for that church too. Because I mean, imagine going to that church, right? And your pastor is soliciting like Guatemalan, child prostitutes, right? Like, the damage that does. It's terrible. Yeah, my bad. Sorry for caring. Yeah, I'm glad you care. So yeah, I'm turning into CJ here. I can barely read the comments. I've had too much caffeine or not enough. Yes. What does Trotto have to say? This may surprise you, but I don't think they actually wonder why. I think they're just impotently angry about the change. Yeah, that doesn't actually surprise me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They do know why. They totally do know why. They're angry that there has been a rightward shift among young men, especially or young people in general, but especially young men in America. And part of it is the collapse of the post-war religion, right? The post-war religion is a secular religion that says.
Well, that's what he says here. He says building a platform on X involves constant transgression of boundaries. Well, the boundaries are the liberal democracy of the post-war world. That's the boundaries.
Yeah, the boundaries are fake and gay, and so
it's. The boundaries are liberalism, and so we are transgressing. This is the classic problem. They're calling us not conservative. It's like,
I don't want to conserve that, man.
We're not going to conserve the achievements of progressivism.
Here, keep it on the comments. What are you doing?
That's what they can't
stand.
Doing,
Gary. Come on. That's exactly it. Like I don't want to conserve.
He also says
these things.
Gig Eva has the advantage of the frictionless nature of technologically mediated engagement. There is so much more friction in our engagement than Big Eva ever experienced.
Yeah, I just had the entire subcontinent of India call me the most disgusting things you can imagine because I said
and
I want my children
disgusting images about Christ.
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah. Yeah, because I had the temerity, the gall to say, I want my children to grow up in America and not India.
Yeah.
Right. Turns out, like, you want your children to grow up in America too, not India.
In fact, it's the opposite of true. The reason why Big Eva is dying out is because they can't take the friction.
They don't want friction.
They can't take it.
Right. Everything is built to.
They want to hide in their ivory towers.
Yeah.
And write comfortably in online articles.
Yeah,
they're not in the arena.
Engage.
They're not in the arena at all.
They don't engage in these fights. I mean, that was the thing. It was like there was some post about the SBC the other day that somebody sent me, and it's like, oh, they one of their bigwigs, said something about abortion, and it was like, oh wow, you are really radical now. You said like abortion is bad, really? Wow. I can't believe you had. I mean, like that's how low the bar is for them to be like, we're culture warriors now.
The Anti-Abortion Incorporated is $1 billion industry.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, so
it's huge, and even that exists to avoid friction, to avoid conflict. Right? We don't want to say that like women who totally know that they're murdering their baby are murdering their baby because that will make them feel bad. We want them to think nice things when we present our case. And it's like they have no clue. They have no clue at all. These people, they are proud of it. They're proud of how many babies they've murdered. Right? It isn't like, oh, they're just so naive, they're being manipulated. It's like, yeah, maybe, or maybe they're not. And the more you pretend like that's not what's going on, the easier it is to manipulate them. It's all like everything in there. Could you send it to me? I want to read some of the like it's fun to read these things and just laugh at how absurd so many of them are. There were some, as I was reading it, I was laughing pretty hard. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here.
Just texted it to you.
Oh. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Where is it at? Where'd you leave off? This is great podcasting. I know. Yeah. So the economics of social media are different. And this is reflected in the culture of Gig Eva. Building a platform on X, for example, involves constant transgression of boundaries. Hence the emergence of Gig Eva personalities whose trademark behavior ranges from attacking the leaders of Gig Eva to rehabilitating Hitler. Okay. Yeah. We're definitely doing that. Like, of course he wants to go there and say you're all Nazis. And Gig Eva also has the advantage of the frictionless nature of technologically mediated engagement. Gig Eva silenced critics by ignoring them or making quiet phone calls to employers. Gig Eva launches full frontal personal attacks, but does so from the safety offered by tech platforms that have no place for that pesky prerequisite of personal competence. I know for a fact, actually, like this is funny. I know for a fact, maybe I shouldn't tell this story. I won't mention any names. That Carl Trueman was speaking at a small conference of maybe a couple hundred people, and he saw that a friend of ours had paid and signed up to go to this conference, and he had. And this friend of ours, very polite guy. I mean, he in the Q&A, he would have been pretty direct about some questions, but a polite guy, not a rancorous person at all. And he had his ticket refunded and had him kicked out. Right. So Carl Trueman, if you're watching this, I hope you are. Carl. You're a coward. You are afraid of you. Carl, if you want to come here and appear on Contramundum and talk to us face to face and rebut this claim of cowardice, you're invited on. Come on anytime you want. But I think you are terrified of being challenged. Like you could come here and have a conversation about Aimee Byrd, right? You could come defend yourself all you want. You could come say, we didn't know that she was a huge woke lib that wanted to push women's ordination on the OPC and PCA and everything else.
Speaking of competence,
you could go do that.
Speaking of competence, how come he didn't know that and everyone else online did?
Yeah, and
how come
everyone
Gig
else
even knew of it?
Like he participated in doxing people in the Geneva Commons and having them thrown out of churches.
Yeah,
for criticizing Aimee Byrd, who now is a full-on lib, like totally open about it. Yeah, Carl. Frictionless, huh? Frictionless, right? You are a coward, Carl Trueman. A coward, right? You will not stand for any cross-examination whatsoever.
This sentence is interesting. Gig Eva silenced critics by ignoring them or making quiet phone calls to employers.
Yeah.
Like, is that okay?
Yeah. No, I mean,
sit there behind a computer and make quiet calls to employers to get people fired.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think he's admitting that it's bad. To give him credit, I don't think he's saying that's good.
Well, he's saying that what we're doing is worse, which is bring it out into the light.
Bring it out into the light and having a fight out in the open instead of being these sneaky little snakes saying, "Oh, did you see what this guy said or what he did? You better fire him." Right? Like, no, like I'd rather have conflict out in the open. Right? Well, Carl doesn't.
But my point is that he did the same thing by removing that person from the conference.
Yeah,
very sneakily.
Yeah, and he never said, like, I don't want that guy here. I don't want him in this conference because he's going to ask me questions probably about Aimee Byrd that I don't want to have to answer. Carl, answer some questions about Aimee Byrd before you start throwing stones at anyone else, right? You're living in a very, very big glass house and you're throwing stones, right? Maybe just chill, buddy. Maybe go into retirement, right? Because nothing you have to say anymore really matters. Right? Until you admit you were totally wrong about Aimee Byrd and that you were wrong to attack anybody that called into question what she was doing. All right. Maybe you should do that, Carl. And he's not going to. How much do we want to bet that he he will never come on Contramundum. Fly down to Gainesboro. I'll go pick you up at the airport, Carl. I mean, you probably don't want to hang out with me on the 1.5-hour car ride from the airport. I can send somebody else too, but I'll come pick you up, man. And you could come sit right in CJ's chair, and not mine. You can sit in the CJ's chair across from me, and I can ask you some questions about Aimee Byrd. Let's do that, right? Anytime you want. But he's not going to do that because he does what Big Eva does, right? Calls people, gets them fired, and also, right, ignores them. He ignores them, right? But now, like, our guys are too big to ignore, right? That's the thing. Like, the playbook for Big Eva stopped when they couldn't be ignored anymore. You could shut off the comments on the Gospel Coalition, right? I remember the day they did that. And you could turn off turn off replies on your Twitter account, right? You could ignore your critics, but what happens is people will listen to us, and they'll listen to people like us instead of you, right? And that's going to keep happening, right? Right. I don't know, like whenever I don't get the opportunity to write all that often because I'm busy attacking Diwali. But when I do, like, I think like my Substack gets as many hits on my articles as like First Things does.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's like, all right, Carl, if you want to keep ignoring us, do so at your own risk. But yeah, man, it is so bad. It's just so absurd to think about. Let
me give you another angle to this.
Yeah.
I actually think that there's something here that is tragic. I don't think it should be the case that some of the best minds, the people who can see the world as we see it,
yes,
and they're very perceptive, why should we be ghettoized on the internet?
Yeah, I don't want to be.
We wish we were there in the institutions and had that, but we are not allowed in there. This is the thing. Like, they don't allow anyone who actually has these more traditional views. It's not like the views that we're advancing are somehow new and unique. Yeah. We actually have more of a historic Protestant political theology. This is the point that Stephen Wolf and Stephen Miller make all the time, is that these are not novel ideas.
No.
And for church historians like Carl Trueman, who's always coming under fire from Stephen Wolf, they have no idea what this thing even is. They don't know how to think of it. But all we're doing is recovering the historical view of political theology. And so that's the frustrating thing, is we should be there. We are the next generation. Not me. Like, I'm not an academic, but like Stephen Wolf and others.
You should be.
They are the ones that should have access to these institutions who are boxing them out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, for me personally, like, the reason I didn't go to one of their seminaries is not because, like, oh man, the academics are really hard, I don't know if I'll get in. It was, I visit, like, Covenant, I visited, and I went there and sat in some classes. And it was, I've told this story before, I think, but I went there and sat in some classes, and I was like, this is it. Like, it felt the same way when my first week of college.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My first week of college, I was my whole life in grade school and high school and things, like, school was really easy and not very challenging and, like, really dumbed down. And the teachers are always saying, well, just wait till you get to college. That's where real academic stuff happens. And it's hard. It is hard. I went to college. It's hard. And I go to college, and I was like, this is actually dumber than my high school. For real. And so I go visit the seminary, and I just did like autodidact stuff in college, right? Studying theology. I was like, I'll just read it. I have access to interlibrary loans. I can get any book I want. And so I would read, like, that's what I did for fun in college.
I believe you.
I mean, I did other fun things too, but, like, I would go to the library and, like, just read theology. And so I'm like all jazzed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to seminary. This is gonna be awesome. And I go to their classes, and I'm like, for one, like, I show up, this is like 2007 in Covenant Seminary. Maybe some of you watching Remember Me visiting, I was wearing a suit and tie because I thought, well, this is serious academic stuff. This isn't like college where everybody's dressed in sweatpants. And I show up, everybody's in sweatpants. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little overdressed. Like the professor was like more dressed down than I am right now for class. And it was like really, it was like going to like a men's Bible study at a big giant church, right? Like the level of like academic stuff they were covering. Maybe the reading was hard. I don't know. But I was so unimpressed. Then I went to Jerem Barr's class, a small class. There was maybe like 6 or 7 students. And this was like their cultural engagement, like Schaeffer Center stuff. I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good. I love Francis Schaeffer. I've read everything he's written. And I get there and it's like this like really like this like fat tattooed slob wearing cutoff sleeves, and it looks all grungy. They're talking about their projects that they're doing. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm going to go to the Pacific Northwest and I'm going to do outreach to environmentalists. And then another one's like, I want to reach the LGBTQ community. And the entire time I'm thinking like, what's wrong with these people? Right? None of those people care. Like they don't want, like, you're not going to hug enough trees to get them into the kingdom. Like they hate civilization.
Yeah.
Right? Like they hate Christianity. Like, good luck, man. Like their ideology needs to be defeated for them to submit to Christ and totally repudiated by everyone. And needs to die. Right. That's how you convert them. Is like they just stop being those things because nobody wants it. And so anyway, like I was like, I cannot go to seminary. This place is so bad. And it was the right decision, like totally right. Because imagine if I had gone there and was me in the seminary, like one, I probably would have been kicked out for believing, traditional Protestant, Reformed or Presbyterian things. And if I wasn't kicked out, like I definitely would have like a black mark next to my name in the PCA and would be struggling to find like churches to serve. And then you go to a church and it's like, oh, now I get to be ruled by all the elders' wives. And I'm going to step on toes and get fired. Right. And so it would have been awful to be in the PCA. Like, and that's like, and it isn't just like me unique, like I'm so unique or anything. That's the mechanism that they employ. Like, they're like, all right, here it's the tiny narrow band of like theology you're allowed to study and think about and talk about, right? Anything outside of that, like if you start reading these like Mercersburg guys, you're probably really bad and we're gonna have to kick you out. And so you'd have the theological aspect of it. You'd have the cultural one, where it's like, hey, I think gay marriage is bad, and we should oppose it vocally. Oh, well, we don't like your tone, and we're gonna have to kick you out, right? Like that's the mechanism that they employ against like any, and this is like 20 years ago, right? Can you imagine how bad it is now for like a young guy? And I'll have like young guys that will reach out that listen to us. It's like, should I go to seminary? And I'm like, probably not. I mean, get some Greek and Hebrew, get some stuff that like you can't learn in a church, but you're not going to get anything at seminary you wouldn't get from like reading yourself.
Yeah.
And being highly involved in your local church. Right. Like, and actually, like, this is one of the problems with the PCA. Like, you cannot be ordained as a teaching elder in the PCA unless you have an MDiv. Right. I seem to not see that anywhere in the Bible or the Westminster Standards. But nonetheless, that's their rules. Right. So you have to go spend a boatload of money, go into major debt, and to get this credential and be indoctrinated into being a good little boy, and then we'll let you in. Right. So is the PCA going to be fixed? I have my doubts. I wish I wish my friend Michael Foster maybe doesn't want to call me his friend right now in this fight because I'm a bad boy. But I wish him well. I really hope what he's doing, succeeds. I hope they drive out all the lib churches that have women pastors. I hope it happens. But I have my doubts. So we have an ad that we need to run because I know CJ, he's like, we're only doing an hour today. Only 1 hour because I have important things more important than you, Andrew, to hang
Fridays,
out.
I'm out of here, man.
I know Fridays is a tough day. We need to do this on Mondays, but Mondays are hard for me. All right. So
this is Dave. Dave is dead. When he wasn't, he was a successful businessman with a rather large estate. This is Ben. As Dave's son, Ben has just inherited a logistical nightmare. Dave wasn't exactly organized with his estate. Sorting through folders, receipts, and records, a hunting lodge in Montana, a 401k, lots of investments, several bank accounts, and of course, taxes. Ben was overwhelmed. Enter Joe Garcia, Backwards Planning Financial. When Ben called Joe and explained everything, Joe replied,
"No problem. That's easy."
And somehow it was. With Joe's guidance, Ben was able to put a robust financial plan in place which helped mitigate risk and bring order to the chaos, while building wealth, organizing his estate, easing the tax burdens, and cutting unnecessary costs. He helped Ben do something Dave never did: plan ahead. Starting at the end and working backwards, Ben now has a plan for his own family. Now his kids won't go through what he did when he eventually... Backwards Planning Financial. Start planning for your death before you're gone.
okay, there we are. Okay, we're back. I love Joe Garcia.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I was just up there with him in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, he was at the conference you spoke at. Yeah, Joe's great. If you should all just get rid of whatever financial guy you have. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, well, there's all these rules and stuff about financial stuff. So I
can say whatever you want.
I know I can. So yeah, just
everything we say on here, by the way, is financial advice.
Yeah, everything. Please sue us.
When we say go to Farmer Bill's and spend $400, that is
financial advice. Yeah,
that is financial planning.
It is because
guaranteed returns.
Because you will be healthier and you'll be longer and more productive, or you'll live longer and more productive. You won't get any taller, probably. It hasn't worked for CJ.
No. What's the phrase in the Rolling Stone?
Oh my goodness! But yeah, we haven't even told you guys about that. We've been featured. We've been featured in Rolling Stone.
Yeah, we're in Rolling Stone.
We've been
Speaking
featured.
of Gig Eva, we are in Rolling Stone.
We're in Rolling Stone, so like we are Big Eva now, and it wasn't a total hackish hit piece. Like, no, I kind of expected it to be.
It was about the project in Tennessee.
Yeah, and I got my picture taken in the Rolling Stone.
You look happy.
It was hard for them to take a picture of me where I don't look happy.
I know you're very happy. Like me, on the other hand, I declined.
Like the lady, she took. Yeah, that wouldn't have been hard for you. She took the photographer, very nice lady. She took I don't know, like 200 or 300 pictures of me.
Really?
And
they found one, huh?
And they found that's the best. The most Bond villainy one they could possibly find was that one.
I should send it to Gary
to display on the screen.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it next time. But yeah, it's behind the paywall, but I'm sure you could find ways around that if you want.
Maybe I'll just tweet it out.
Maybe. So anyway,
maybe I'll just tweet it out right now.
Maybe. And so yeah, we were in the old Rolling Stone. So I'm the first, as far as I know, the very first person born in Waseca, Minnesota, ever to be featured in Rolling Stone. So
congratulations, man.
It's a great honor.
It's fun to be part of Gig Eva.
It's yeah. Someday that Qatari money will come rolling in, I'm sure. Let's see. What is Ed? I'm looking at the let's see. I'm looking at the comments here. Just get the mouse out of the way.
There's no more new ones.
I'm out of the loop on this because someone backfield. What is Andrew talking about with Michael Foster? What is Michael Foster doing? Oh yeah, so Michael Foster is he's compiling a database of churches in the PCA that have women functioning as pastors or elders. Some of them were even like called pastor of whatever. Like it's just crazy. Like, I mean, it's kind of like all the like the Biden administration stuff, like all the things that they did, or even just like the DEI stuff, for example, right? Like you have people like openly discriminating against white people. They'll put it on their website, like, yeah, we don't hire white people. We're anti-white. And it's like that violates, the Civil Rights Act. Like you can't do, but it's never been enforced that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so they thought like they could just do it forever. And now you got Harmeet Dillon out there. Yeah, I know she celebrated Diwali, CJ, but she's out there and she's attacking, doing lawsuits, and doing great things. Anyway, they thought they could just get away with it forever. That nobody, like the PCA is like half woke. And so no one's ever going to challenge them over it. No one's ever going to fight it. And it takes someone outside of the PCA to do it. Foster's church is not in the PCA. It's independent right now. He would like to join the PCA, but as the PCA is currently comprised, you can't join a denomination that has like 200 plus churches with women pastors and elders that you're not doing anything about. And so this is a really good litmus test of whether the PCA is worth joining.
And he's getting hammered for it.
And they are attacking him nonstop over it. And so it's it's absurd, the attacks that like some of it is like circling the wagon. It's like, oh no, these are not women pastors. These are just staff members that sometimes talk about the Bible from the pulpit. Right. That's not preaching. It's
they're like Pharisees when they're like trying to find loopholes.
Yeah, it's like, if we do it, if we do it on a Tuesday and not on a Saturday, then it's okay. Like, yeah, it's so bad and it's so obvious what they're doing. And so Foster is just calling attention to that. Right. And it's like, and it's the funniest criticism. He's doxing these churches. He's doxing them. It's like, they have this stuff on their website for the whole world to see. Like people need to understand what doxing is, right? Doxing is when you take someone's private, personal information and you put it on the internet for crazy people to come kill them, right? That's what doxing is, right? Or taking someone's private information and getting them fired from their job because you don't like what they said on the internet. That's what doxing is. Yeah. It isn't. Our church has not quite Pastor Linda preaching on Sunday morning. That's not doxing, right? That's saying, hey, check this out. I bet you guys didn't notice that this church has a female elder de facto, right? That's what's happening. Shepherdess. Yeah, the shepherdesses, right? They call them shepherdesses. I bet you didn't think if we just use the word shepherdess that we could function as pastors without actually calling them pastors, right? They're shepherdesses, right? They're not pastors. Come on. We would never violate the Bible that way. No. They're just shepherdesses. They're like Deborah in the book of Judges.
You can trick God just by using a different name.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, if we set the oven to cook our food Friday night, then we're not breaking the Sabbath. If we have the automatic lights turn on and off, then we're not working on the Sabbath, right? That's what this stuff is.
Yeah, it is.
It's like Talmudic, man. It's so absurd. It's like, we're gonna find little loopholes.
Yeah, Tuttle just said the same thing.
Yeah,
Ron and Kryptos.
Yeah, Ron Dodson, our friend, Ron Dodson, and Kryptos, also our friend.
We should have Kryptos on.
We should. Had that chat about the Talmudic sort of laws, lawyering. We see it as the norm and such loopholes. Smack of that. Yeah, absolutely. They totally do. Thank you, Truddle. You always call him Tuttle. It's Truddle.
I can't see that far.
Yeah,
it's like 18 inches.
The screen's way too far away. Yeah, I think I made fun of you on Sunday accidentally. With the bulletins. Where I was like, if you're nearsighted, farsighted, I don't know which one, whichever one CJ is, Like some of the music is a little bit blurry. So,
I'm sure my wife loved that.
yeah, I'm sure she did. She didn't say anything to me, so
she likes when I'm made fun of in public.
I'm sure. But anyway, yeah, it is wild, the stuff that is going on right now. And like this article, I think the big picture, the meta narrative, to use nerd talk like Carl Trueman likes, is that Big Eva, they know they're on the way out, and like Big Eva, I'm not just talking about like the Gospel Coalition or all these big conferences or whatever, but like their institutions.
Yeah.
Right. Their seminaries, their denominations, all of these things. Like part of it, this is why I think some of it is at least is about like Doug and the CREC is like they really don't like him, and they don't like that he engages in controversy, and the controversy raises his profile, and therefore he has more influence. Like that's the mechanism that he's used for 30 years. Right. They don't like that. They don't like that younger men are doing the same thing. They hate it, actually. And what do you know? Like the CREC is growing massively.
Yeah.
Right. It's growing faster than they have like time to, organize and bring churches in and all of this kind of, like, there's like, even in the Augustine Presbytery, the Southeastern one, like there's like 20 or 30 churches that want to join the presbytery, and like there's just not enough time to bring them all in.
So cool.
And so like it's grown massively over the last 5 years, and you can see why. Right. I know there are a lot of people that are like, oh, the CREC is not based enough and things like that, but compared to like Big Eva, compared to Carl Trueman, who wrote, did you know he wrote, I didn't even realize, I forgot about this.
I have all his books.
Do you have his Republicrat book?
Yeah. He was third way long before Gavin Nortland was.
It's like the third way book. I'm neither a Democrat nor a Republican.
Yeah.
I'm a secret third thing. And you've never debated anybody like me. I don't know how to say, I don't even know his accent.
To be fair,
you've never debated anyone like me.
To be fair, that was okay 10 years ago.
Was it?
Like when we were choosing between Romney and Obama, and we were all libertarians, like Ron Paul fans.
Yeah. Like,
but this is the thing. 10 years ago, I can see this. If it's 2025 and you're counter signaling the right wing now,
well, yeah. And like his rationale for it is like, well, I want to have universal health care, and Republicans don't like that. Like his rationale was like the expression of the two different parties within the post-war consensus.
Yeah, like I'm against abortion,
but and
also for healthcare. You've never,
but I'm also a socialist.
Yeah.
Right. Like he didn't fit either of those boxes in that way, but it all was within the post-war consensus.
For sure.
Right. Sure. That was his criticism. Yeah. Ours was, we didn't even have, like, we couldn't articulate it this way back in 2012 when we're like, I don't want to vote for Mitt Romney. It wasn't because like, I really like some of the things Obama does, but I like some of the things Romney does. Like that's Truman.
Yeah.
Ours was like the whole
entire regime
has to go.
It has to be done.
Yeah. And then here you have this guy show up and say, I think we should get out of NATO. And it's like, I'm voting for him. That's my guy. Doesn't like NATO. Neither do I. Like, I mean, he just started saying this, not the same things, but many of the same things that Ron Paul would say. And all the people that hated Ron hated him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I like him. I like him a lot. And I mean, that's the funny, like these guys hate Trump, right? They hate him. I mean, I think about like the thing that Steven said on Twitter, x.com the other day about like personal piety and rulers,
mm-hmm.
right? Is an interesting point, right? Because you have a lot of great rulers, leaders in history that like they're not like personally very pious men.
Yeah.
But they were competent executives, and they pursued what was in the interest of their people well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That there is like that they aren't, it isn't a 1-to-1 correlation. Like you can have very pious people that are completely lousy, and making that like the litmus test of, is this guy going to be a good ruler or not, good leader? Actually, right, there's something there. And so people were upset about that. See, he just wants to have a dictator, doesn't care if he's actually a good, decent, pious Christian. And it's like, this is the thing that has been used to manipulate you for decades, right? You have these like closet case Republicans come out and say how much they're for family values, and they trot their family out. And I'm for family values. And meanwhile, they vote for taxpayer funded abortions and like everything like that. And to bomb any country they can find on a map. And so none of it matches up at all, but they'll talk the talk. They'll say, oh yes, we are Christian, life begins at conception. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood, here's $1 billion. Right. That's the way the GOP always was. And here Trump comes and just punctures that balloon. It's like this gaudy, this gaudy billionaire who's just so vulgar, shows how fake all of that was. And that ultimately, like, that's changed everything. Yeah. We don't look at, like, we look at politicians as largely like these pretty disgusting creatures, and they always have been. Like, they've always been that way. And the only thing that matters is, what do you do for me, right? What do you do for our people, right? Are you representing our people and our interests or not, right? What do you actually do? What do you actually stand for? That's what matters. Not, oh, is this guy a Baptist? Does he go to a Southern Baptist church like me? Well, then I will vote for him. Like, no, that really doesn't matter. Right. Why the wise Turk versus foolish Christian sort of apocryphal quote. And so they hate Trump, and they haven't gotten over it. Right. I think the shift in the Overton window, the vibe shift, all the things that Trump has caused politically and culturally in the last 10 years, they've never recovered from it. Yeah. And they never will. Like, it's over. And you see like the fallout of this in churches and everything everywhere. And I think a new epochal moment was Charlie Kirk's assassination, where it's like, I've been saying for years, these people are insane. They hate us. They want us dead. And like, you're an extremist. You are an extremist, Andrew. These people don't hate you. You're the problem with politics today. You think it's in terms of friend and enemy. How could you think that? We need to have discourse and conversation and common ground and meet in the middle. And it's like, meanwhile, they want you and your children dead. Right. And now it's obvious, right? They hate you and want you dead. There's either winning or losing. There is no compromise that can be had. And people have come to realize this. And the kinds of, like, the way we preach, the way we discuss cultural issues in the church should reflect that, right? This isn't time to mess around anymore. This isn't time to be like, oh, I don't really, like, there's some people that are searching and they're thinking about believing in Jesus, and I don't want to offend them, right? I want to be like Tim Keller and say, well, homosexuality, it's,
God whispers about it.
Yeah, it's like, God whispers about sexual sin, but he shouts about, what did he say? Like, shouts about financial sins. And it's like, yeah, people like, you're at a giant church, JD Greer.
Is that what he said? Financial sins?
I think it was like, or fiscal sins, or money. It was like money, economic sins. And it's like half the people in your church, JD Greer, drive Range Rovers. Like, what are you talking about? Some of them probably with pride flags on the back. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're in a, where's he in Atlanta? Is that where he's at?
No, he's in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah, like Charlotte. Rich area. And so then they can pat oh yes, we are against the financial sins. Meanwhile, you work for Bank of America. I'm a professional usurer, going to your church. And it's like, it's so absurd, right? Oh, well, homosexuality is not so good for human flourishing. That's what we have to say. It's not ideal for human flourishing. Yeah, that's actually disgusting. It's bad. It's evil. And that's what God says about it. And you're not holier than God. Right? Just talk like God does. Right? That's what the pastor should be doing, is talking like God does, talking like Jesus does. yeah, like read, like the biggest thing with all of it, for me, what has always been like reading the Gospels, right? You read the Gospels and you just look at the way Jesus spoke, right? And he was not like them. He was confrontational. He is confrontational, right? He attacked his enemies, and he had enemies. Whoa, he had enemies. It's incredible. And he attacked them verbally, right? Rhetorically. And they're terrified of doing that. And so why is Big Eva dying? Why is Gig Eva growing? It's because we are confrontational, right? We lean into conflict, and it isn't, again, it's not frictionless. Like there's real world fallout. Absolutely is real world fallout from boldly saying things online, right? People in real life will hate you, right? People in real life will try to get you fired from your job, right? It's like the Eli McGowans and the Blake Callenses. Those people don't exist, right? Right now, there are people, all they do all day, and I think they're unemployed or stay-at-home dads or something. All they do all day is just hunt for people that like us or follow us on Twitter or whatever. Hunt them down. How can I mean, it's like a certain AI cartoon. Somebody's got to do something. I'm going to get these fascists and get them fired from their jobs. They're making fun of me. Right. It really do be like that, Mr. Engel. And they that's all they do. Like and people have suffered because of what these people do. Right. It isn't frictionless. Right? There absolutely is a cost to being bold and telling the truth on the internet. It's just that I like the way we're doing it more than the way you're not doing it. Right. That's what it comes down to. Right. What's like the most based thing Carl Trueman has ever said?
That'll go to him for based stuff. I don't know.
I don't know either. Like abortion's bad. Maybe he says that. But even that, it would be couched in like this flowery terminology. It wouldn't be like, yeah, you're murdering babies. Yeah. You should stop doing that. God's wrath is going to come.
He did say that reading Nietzsche is a good way to understand the modern world.
All right. Well,
but he's allowed to.
Points
though.
for
he's allowed to because
he can say that.
Yeah, he's allowed to say.
If I said that, they'd be like, Andrew Risker's a Nietzschean. Right? He wants he wants the will to power. That's what they would do if I said that. But are you familiar with Vox Day's work on sociosexual hierarchy? Seems like all of our enemies are gamma males. I'm a little bit familiar. I haven't read Vox Day in years. I
don't know what he's talking about.
I mean, Vox Day would just talk about like you got your alpha males. Yeah. Like you, CJ. And Pericles.
Me and Pericles, huh?
That's right. You and Perry Abbasi. But you got your alpha males, your beta males, your gamma males, and the kind of the personality types about that. And yeah, like none of like I think about like so I it always is kind of cringe and Reddit tiered or coded to talk about being an alpha. I'm an alpha male. Take gorilla steroids.
This is gonna be clipped.
Yeah, totally. It totally is. But I'm an alpha. Right. It's always like cringe to talk that way. But you look at like somebody like Trump, right? Alpha male.
He just
alpha.
In the chat, they just quoted the compact and bulky.
Yeah, the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone article. He didn't describe me. He would not describe me as compact. Yeah.
Compact and bulky.
Compact and bulky. No, that was Josh, not me.
Josh.
But like Trump, yeah, like just a type A personality, right? A leadership type. Right, the kind of guy that you get a group of guys together to play like a pickup football game, and it's like, all right, I'm going to play quarterback, right? Like that kind of guy. And Trump would be a great quarterback, I think. I think it'd be awesome. But I mean, not now, right? We'll stick to golf right now.
Have you seen him
he's like
throwing
80 years
football
old
in the 70s or whatever?
Oh yeah, yeah,
or 80s,
or like throwing the first pitch at,
Yeah.
At like a Yankees game or
He's
something.
such a classic New Yorker.
Oh yeah, yeah. And no, it was the football because I think
football, yeah.
he was involved in like one of the startup leagues. But anyway, like a guy like that, right? That's your. And are there any guys in the Big Eva world that are like that at all?
No.
There was one once upon a time, but he was kicked out.
Who was that?
Certain man named Mark Driscoll.
Oh,
he fit that characterization
Mhm.
quite well. And that's always the thing. Like
I was gonna say like John MacArthur,
John MacArthur too. Yeah. John MacArthur.
but he wasn't welcome at the end of.
No, he was not. I mean, they were embarrassed by John at the end. And they were embarrassed. I mean, really, they
John MacArthur was like a really good football player.
Yeah, he was. He was a college football player.
Yeah.
And like they were embarrassed because like he was a man and he like spoke plainly and frankly and stated his opinion clearly. And it's like, take it or leave it. Like you're not allowed to do that in that world. And so he had like the bona fides and everything to survive. And like the thing with Driscoll, like I didn't listen to the Gay Christianity Today series. Did you ever listen to the one on Driscoll?
No.
No. It's like I can't do
I don't have time for that.
the vocal fry from a man or a woman, but especially a man, NPR voice. Like I can't do it. And he and it never was like really clear. Okay, what exactly did Driscoll do?
I didn't pay a lot of attention.
No
was
one's
it
ever
alleged to be like financial stuff?
Well, it was
But
like
is that just a?
but it was like the church session, the board of elders, whatever.
Well, they said it was like abuse of authority.
They bought a
which is
bunch
always-
of books. They bought books like John Piper's church did this. Like when I would visit there, they would always have his most recent book to like give away to
Is
the
that what it
congregation.
was? It was just that.
It was like they were buying books to bump it up in the New York Times list, and then just giving them away for free to people in the
that
church.
was the big thing.
And,
that
like,
brought him
using
down?
church funds
was that,
for
Was
that.
that the thing that brought him down?
But it was also like he was like domineering.
Yeah,
and
that's always the thing.
And he yelled at people and he was angry and abusive, like all these like vague terms.
Yeah.
Where it's like he was acting like a man. Like to me, it sounds like he's acting like a man. Like I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what he was doing, if it was bad or if or whatever. But it just sounds like, oh, like that sounds like my football coach yelling at me, you know, like, okay. I mean, there was weird stuff where he's like, and he's always been this like weird charismatic type where it's like, I saw visions of congregants, you know, doing it and stuff like that. That's pretty weird. But like that world is full of weird stuff too. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's bizarre and weird. Like, but even that, it's like, okay, well, I guess you kick him out for that. Maybe I don't really know. Like it was always vague.
Mhm.
It was not like, yeah, we found this guy soliciting child prostitutes, right? It wasn't anything like that. This guy was like, you know, sinning in something. He was having an affair. He was whatever. Like it was not some like clear, obvious. All right, this guy's got to go. This is a major scandal and sin. It was just like, we don't like him anymore. He's got to leave. And it was always true. This guy's permanently disqualified from ministry. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't really know. And it's not like I was a Driscoll fanboy or anything either, where it's like, this guy could do no wrong. He is the best. Right. It was like, okay, I don't really, cause I had qualms with like Acts 29 and that whole world that they had. So it wasn't like I was in that world or anything like that. It was like, it's just not really very clear what happened. And so to me, it looks like they kicked him out because he was a man and behaved like a man.
Couldn't control him.
And they couldn't like domineer him.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, there's not anyone else. Like you think like within that scale, you know, alpha, beta, gamma. I mean, we could pull it up like Vox Day gamma male.
I don't care enough.
Yeah, I know you don't care enough. Ligon Duncan, not like John MacArthur.
No.
We'll put it that way. Not like him. And like, are any of these guys? Who's the really nerdy one? You have to be more specific. What's his name? He's got glasses again.
You mean
the PCA?
Mel or whatever his name is?
No, that's Ligon's brother. No. Oh my goodness. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Like all these guys,
they're so forgettable.
They are forgettable. They like, none of them are like, man, I'm gonna follow that guy to war.
Yeah.
Right. I wherever that guy go, I'm gonna run through a brick wall for that guy.
Yeah.
Like, no, they don't have any of those guys at all, because like their seminary, like from the very bottom, right? The very, like, the feeding mechanism for their hierarchy, like, filters those guys out from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Could you imagine like a college, quarterback who's not quite, like, a Division I college quarterback who's not like quite good enough to make it to the NFL, and it's like, okay, what's he gonna do for a career now? Right? Could you imagine if he signed up to go to like RTS? Right. And he's even like a tiny bit like politically and culturally like we are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you imagine how that would go for him? Right. Or like a linebacker, like you imagine how that would go. Right. Like, it would not, like, they would, that he's done. Like, he has no future in that world. Right. Instead, buddy, you're gonna go be in the financial world. You're gonna go be in sales. You're gonna, like, and you'll be a rock star there. Go into consulting. You'll make bank. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And so, right, they don't attract those kind of men at all. And you even see this with like the mega church type guys that are not, they're not really affiliated. Maybe they're SBC or something, but they're not part of some big denomination. And they're kind of like that a lot of the time, right? They're sort of like that, right? Like type A guys, but it ends up being like the CEO model.
Yeah.
Where it's like, he's the Steve Jobs of the church and just, like, dominates it. But like, through the institutions, the seminaries, all of those things, like, they don't want men that could be men. They don't want, or even like a guy that, the military is like this too, right? They don't want guys there. Maybe now with Pete Hegseth, but they're not gonna, like, you're not gonna be promoted if you're like a chiseled, steel-jawed, chewing glass type guy. They don't want them. Nope. They do not want them. It's highly effeminate and feminized, and it selects for agreeableness.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You need to be an agreeable personality type, and if you're in any way disagreeable, we don't want you. And like, disagreeability is a masculine. I'm doing psychobabble talk, but like, disagreeability is a masculine trait. And they need you to have a testosterone level under 200 in order to be allowed in their club. And so that's why there's Gig Eva. Right? That's why it's here.
All right, I'm out.
You're out already. Let's look at the comment. Did we get any super chats? No super chats today. What is a camera man? Let's see. Sig Eva. Yeah, I don't have you have a Sig? No, you have Glocks, right? You're a Glock guy.
I have a Glock.
Yeah, you're a Glock guy. I'm a Smith & Wesson guy, so I'm not a Sig Eva guy. But yeah, man, it is it more than anything, that back to the meta narrative.
The meta narrative
is that we're winning and they're losing, and that this is a big impotence signal from them. And like, all the people like high-fiving over this, it's so funny to see online. Like, yeah, we showed them. They're a bunch of keyboard warriors, right? Okay. All right. Oh yeah, Kevin DeYoung. There it is, Kevin DeYoung. That's the one I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, like
You could do a lot worse than Kevin DeYoung.
I don't despise him or anything, but it's like Kevin DeYoung should be.
He's the Moscow mood guy, right?
Yeah. Like he should be like a relative unknown. Yeah, he's just kind of mediocre, and he's like their shining star, right? You don't have anybody fit for leadership, right? You have anybody that you look at and you're like, whoa. When that guy speaks, he says jump, I say how high, right? You don't have anyone like that. And I think we got some guys like that. I think we have a few. Like CJ. No, CJ, between the two of us, CJ is the college athlete of the two of us, and is
I am a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah, I know you are. I know but you sell yourself short all the time. You do way too much.
I don't have an attention span.
Well, neither do I. It's not stopping me. All right. Well, CJ's run out of steam.
I am.
He's ready to go.
I have very important things to do.
Any parting thoughts? Any parting shots?
No shots. I like Carl Trueman's books. It stinks that we live in an age when they're completely irrelevant.
Yeah, it does.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just sit around and have discourse?
Let's have some discourse.
That'd be awesome.
Let's enjoy it. It is a shame, and it's a shame that we don't want to. I mean, my final thought is we don't want to be in the fringes.
Yeah,
I don't want to be the dissident right. I want to just be the right. I don't want to be like a dissident evangelical. I just want to be an evangelical, reformed evangelical in the like we are the mainstream now. Actually, that's what this signals.
It is. Yeah.
We are the mainstream now, and now is the time to build things.
I'm looking at this.
Now's the time to do stuff.
I'm looking at the staff list at the Gospel Coalition. They have a massive staff.
What
are they all doing?
Yeah, what are they doing? Like, who is funding this? Like, who's paying for all of this? Like
the online right. It's just a couple like bloggers and podcasters who do it for free.
It's anons who do it for like people that go to contramundumpod.com and sign up to be a top guy.
We do get some support.
Yeah,
this is $1 million foundation.
Oh yeah,
this is crazy. Look at this list.
Yeah,
how do they afford to keep all these staffers on?
All these people are making.
No one's going to their conferences.
Like $100K a year.
Look at this. This is crazy.
To put out articles that get like
nobody reads. Yeah.
It's
when they tweet, they get dunked on.
Yeah, like they have to like Taylor Swift is maybe Christ reincarnate. They have to say ridiculous stuff like that in order to nearly blasphemous.
I didn't realize that they still have such a big staff
in order to get any attention.
Director of women's initiatives.
It's so like that's actually like that's part of it is like their women's conferences still do really well.
Wow, shocking.
You shocked by this? They said women's conferences do well, CJ. Yeah, like they largely are irrelevant already and becoming more and more irrelevant. They still have the institutions though, right? They still have thousands and thousands of churches. They still have pastors that parrot their thinking on things, that attack.
Do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
All right.
It's it is. It's actually a huge white pill to see this. For them to announce, you guys have taken the reins, and so hopefully
we are the captain now.
Hopefully, we can steward things better than they did, more faithfully than they did. Hopefully, we don't, crash and burn like they did. Hopefully, we can actually build things and use the things God has given us. And the Lord blesses the things that we're doing. Because I mean, we like the decades ahead, right? The rest of the Lord gives each of us 80 plus years on earth. The decades ahead are going to be a battlefield. And we have to continue to be faithful in it. We have to, like, it's going to continue to get more intense and worse. Like, crazy people are going to do crazy things to us. And not just like us personally, but like all of our guys. And we have to be ready for all of it. We have to continue to engage and not back down in the slightest. I mean, after Charlie was killed, in the days and weeks after that, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should tone it down, right? Maybe I should, for the sake of my family, I need to back down a little bit. I'll take you take like long shower. Maybe I'll speak for myself. You take a long shower and just ponder and sit. Do you ever yearn, CJ?
You're not in the
shower. And you're sitting there thinking like, maybe I should just tone it down. Like, this is real now. This is like, they're actually killing us now. And those thoughts, thankfully, very fleeting. It's like, no, I believe in this. Like, I'm willing to die for what I believe in. I'm willing to die for my country. I'm willing to die for my Lord. And I do not care what they do to me. I don't care. I'm not going to back down. I'm going to go even harder than I have been. And I'm sure you had similar thoughts as well. I think all of us probably did, where it's like, oh, even like the anons out there, it's like, oh, I get doxxed, I could lose my job, and that'd be bad. I could cause problems in my church, and that'd be bad. And it's like, now some freak who likes to wear a tail and little fuzzy ears will take a rifle and shoot me if I get doxxed, right? Like that, it's real now. And so hearing like, oh, fictionless discourse on the internet is so ridiculous, man. It's like, we are contemplating our own deaths for the things that we say, which is something none of those people ever have done or ever will do. And it's just rich. It's really rich.
And the thing is, like, we've talked about this actually for years, that it's going to get violent. This is the very tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's violence coming. And these guys are not prepared.
They're not prepared for it in the least. And the sick thing is, like, if some freak, came to my church and shot me and killed me, like, these very same people would like dance on my grave and be like, well, he shouldn't have been, so controversial on the internet. He should have said those things. And it's like, they will never get it. They will never, ever get it. Like, yeah, I don't want to be a martyr. I don't want that to happen, but I'm willing to die for this stuff. And none of these people have that, right? That's why they're going to lose. That's all I got to say about that. So good. Hope you have a wonderful, awesome weekend, and that you remember to stay peacefully dangerous. And we will see you next time.